welcome to another podcast for Vibes.
Vibes, yes.
And with myself, Mandeep, and the main man,
Snoop.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so we're on this podcast journey again, and wow, big things happening these past few weeks,
a lot of things at the moment. So let's talk over a couple of things. Tablets, how iPads and so forth could overtake the whole laptops. Could that be the case in the future? Or can we see it happening at the moment? We can with iPad OS coming out at the moment, but
yeah, I mean, with iPad OS, we've got mouse support. That's something that I've always moaned about, as you know about. And I've downloaded a third-party tool so that I can control remote Windows instance with a mouse. I had to buy a special mouse for it to work. But the fact that you'll be able to use a mouse, I mean, that's a step in the right direction for it to get closer to what a laptop does.
Yeah, but still with the iPad OS, I think they're still quite a way behind Windows and the functions that you can do within a laptop itself, even on a MacBook. And what I still don't realize is why they don't just port a section of OS X into the iPad infrastructure itself so it seamlessly works directly with the MacBook rather than having a different look. Just trying to emulate certain things which aren't the same, but I still think they're still a fair bit behind.
Well, my question here is, are they going to separate iOS apps, iPad OS, which is the new name of the iPad, and Mac OS apps? What is going to be the big difference between iOS and iPad OS? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
That's true. I mean, it's not been clarified. They haven't spoken about it. What are going to be the differences? It just seems it just seems to me they've just rebranded it and added a couple of features and just made it as a rebranded operating system, which in essence is still the same as what it was before.
True. I mean, I actually have iOS 13. So do you installed. I've installed all of the other Watch OS 6. So I'm playing around with the newer versions. The iPad seems to gain resolution on the screen. That's all I can see for now. I haven't really had a chance to play around with it as much, but I do enjoy the dark theme.
Yeah, dark theme is nice. I've got it on my iPhone now. The dark theme is definitely nice. It's nice, but to a certain point, I still miss the light theme as well. So I don't know. I haven't played around with it. I'm not sure if it's a feature where during the day it can be a light theme and during the night
could be a dark theme.
Dark theme during the
night. I
do
like that idea.
If it is that feature, that would be brilliant. If not, they need to do it. But I still think the iPad, it's still a long way to go. I know they originally marketed it as an item that could kill off the laptop, but here we are. How many years later?
Yeah, many years later.
10, no longer than that.
I mean, can you do what an Excel spreadsheet can do on Windows? No, you can't. You can't do that on Mac OS either.
No.
We're still a while away, but it's getting there. It's something that you can take with you. I mean, would you really want to use a mouse where you can just use your finger?
I mean, again, if I had a laptop or an iPad next to each other, I'm generally going to go towards a laptop no matter what. If I'm doing extensive features, I'm going to go towards the laptop itself.
I think the only benefit that we will see with the new iPad OS when it comes to this fall is you can use the iPad as an extra screen to your laptop.
Yeah.
However, you can get third-party apps. It's called Duet, I think, which I actually bought to extend the screen. It's going to be interesting, but I think maybe they might have a longer plan which we may not know about.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, especially the fact that people are going to use, especially the whole cloud gaming side of things, and people can't start using controllers.
Yeah, I know that we talk about gaming a fair few amount of times, but
that's a big selling point in probably the next 12 months.
It is
coming up. Massive changes that are coming up.
Without a doubt. So I think for me, the fact that now iPad OS will now support an Xbox or a PlayStation controller natively.
Yeah,
that for me is a big deal.
Definitely.
I mean, let's be honest about it. Gaming is getting bigger. You've got esports, There even talks of having video games during the Olympics. They're having, everything is pointing in that direction. And I think if we can get gaming in the cloud done right, then everything else is done right. Yeah. So I truly believe that cloud elements are going to pick up. So at the moment, I have a Windows machine that's actually sat in the cloud. I connect to it when I'm on my iPad if I need to do anything Windows. Yeah. But there is that slight slowness. Yeah. But if gaming is something that can eliminate that slowness and they can translate that, would we even need to install Windows or Mac OS on a machine if it talks to the internet?
True, that's right. You can connect to a virtual machine and you can do everything you need that way as well.
Yeah.
But again, this is all coming on the back end of 5G. As soon as that launches even bigger and bigger in the UK,
yeah.
I mean, could that eliminate those side of things? Could we get, in essence, of 5G increasing the broadband speeds around the whole country? Are the home broadband providers going to increase their speeds to accommodate that as well? I'm not sure if the infrastructure at the moment can actually go with that. I'm not entirely sure, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens and how it will develop to be a fasting gaming platform for everyone to use.
Yeah, I mean, 5G is going to change a lot. Obviously, we've got an announcement of T-Mobile growing more cities that they're going to activate with 5G in the US.
Yeah.
We're going to have more cities enabled for 5G over the years. Plus, we've got Vodafone in a few weeks rolling out 5G here in the UK.
Yeah. I mean,
everything's going to be connected. I mean, doorbells, webcams, cameras, everything.
I mean, even going along the lines of the home broadband providers, I know Three, the mobile network company, are actually launching their own 5G platform home broadband for users to have at home rather than having a line rental in order to have ADSL.
No wise.
So
just no wise. Way,
yeah. The competition is getting better.
Yes.
More fierce between companies, which is definitely good. At the end of the day, it's helping the end consumer. It'll be interesting to see what comes up. Yeah.
But then when everybody hops on, will everything slow down is the other question.
That's the thing. That's the thing that I had this conversation with someone else yesterday as well, and that's the thing, we just don't know. We could have amazing speeds at the moment, but once the whole country's connected, what are we going to get?
Well, how are we going to connect? I mean, the whole spat with Huawei is still going on. They were talking about some deliveries are being canned to the US because of it all. I mean, that spat is a different podcast altogether, but
I feel sorry for Huawei. I think they've just been painted with a bad.
Well, they're being bullied.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they're definitely a brilliant company. And if they launch their own OS, which is, we could talk about that for ages, but if they launch their own OS and they come out guns blazing and it actually launches pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a.
But the question is, will the OS run Android apps?
I mean, that's what they're doing. They're trying to make sure it does, because at the end of the day, they've got a huge platform that they can't lose that platform.
No.
It'd be impossible for them to trying to create anything else to fight the two big wigs at the moment. You've got Apple with their own app stores and you've got Google with their own app stores. It'd be too hard to fight the Android apps themselves.
True. Well, talking about Android, have you heard about rumors of the new Microsoft foldable Surface?
Yes.
So dub named as Andromeda, but there's other code names internally. Apparently, they've already demoed
Centris or something.
Yeah, something like that. They've demoed it already internally within Microsoft to get feedback, so it is there, and they're talking about possibly Windows running Android apps.
Yes, I think they're doing. What I've read was that they were trying to create a Windows different version of Windows, which runs Windows predominantly, but also runs Android apps themselves. So if they could interlink both of them together, that's a good tablet to have. Definitely a good tablet.
Well, I personally feel it will kill phones, tablets, and laptops personally. And again, we're going back to my vision of a phone that you fold out into a tablet, and you dock the tablet, and then you've got a laptop. So Are we going towards that?
I
I've
can
been
see,
waiting for that future for a long time.
I can see that happening. I think that's what's happening
Yeah.
soon, especially with these foldable phones.
Yeah.
The next thing, obviously, I think Lenovo have brought out a foldable laptop as well that they have.
Which is getting a bit of rave
Yes,
reviews.
yeah, exactly. So I'll say another 12 months. I mean, it's a no-brainer really.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Next 12 months, we can see some big things coming up. And yeah,
But the thing is, and for all the Apple fanboys out there, Apple will not jump on the bandwagon until it's perfected.
yeah,
So,
they won't.
I mean, that's the thing about Apple. But again, and I don't know if our listeners agree with us, they may disagree with us, but I feel as though Apple have dropped the ball when it comes to their testing and their betas and rolling out stuff with issues. It's not 100%. It's the same with Windows, but not as much as Apple recently.
Yeah,
So
they're not as refined as they used to be. But I mean, to be honest, they did still have bugs a while back as well. Especially, I mean, do you remember the whole Apple Maps when they created the maps? That
yeah,
was a huge amount of issues they had with that. But those type of apps that they create, they just want to jump in and just create them ASAP and not test them fully. But at the moment, I think so it's about them refining what they have. Still, I keep saying it. They need to innovate. They need to create something new, something brand new that people just haven't seen. It just takes the world by surprise.
I mean, right now we're looking at phones with square things at the back that look quite ugly.
That's what exactly, and that's what the next iPhone is apparently going to be.
Yeah, but so is the Pixel 4. They're
Yes,
copying
yes,
that design.
Yes, it is. It's you know what it feels like. It feels like Google and Pixel are waiting for Apple to launch it, to then see what the market thinks of it, and then think, okay, we might actually be okay.
But
Let's launch ours in October.
But
we might actually be fine.
Mandy, cameras on phone. Do we really care about cameras that much?
Personally, yes, I do.
now?
I mean, I don't. I can't remember the last time I held a handheld camera. I can't. It must be years now. I've got a camera at home, and I can't remember the last time I picked it up. And now the phone is just so brilliant. You can take your portrait pictures, but before with the actual manual camera, you had to make sure the focus was correct in a certain way for it to be created that way. But now you've got everything at the click of a button. It's just coming out great, I think.
Yeah, I know. I do agree. I mean, nowadays, I guess people have their phones on them, which is a lot more accessible.
Yeah.
They can take pictures straight away. Like you say, you do portrait. I think the big thing for me in terms of camera that I really cared about was night sight,
Yeah, night sight's brilliant.
or nightscape, or whatever companies want to call it.
To be honest, I never even thought that any phone could do that
True.
until I saw the Pixel do that software based,
Yeah.
and not hardware based. How it came out to do that is just incredible. And now
No
every
flash.
other, yeah, exactly. Which we have flash before, but it highlighted the wrong. Say if there's a picture of a face, it highlighted the wrong contours of your face. It just looks strange.
Red eye.
Yeah, red eye. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Red eye.
But then I'm gonna miss the devilish look. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You can chuck it in using a Photoshop or something if you want, but no, I think cameras on phones. I mean, every media advertisement you see nowadays.
It's about camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How good's the camera?
Crazy. I mean, the next thing after camera will be sound. I mean, clearly there must be.
I don't know, because we've got external speakers. We've got these amazing speakers that people want to.
True, but they want it in their hand built in.
How much speaker do you really want in your hands, really? I mean, if you want amazing sound within a room, first thing you're going to think of, I need that.
Well, if you're
speaker.
gaming on a phone, you want good sound. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but if you're gaming in a large public environment, first thing you can do is put your headphones in.
But again, headphones lose that quality over Bluetooth. So, do we need to get better headset quality?
We should still have the headphone jack.
Yeah,
so it should be.
True. But then you get
all these these adapters that you get, USB-C adapters. Majority of them aren't interconnectable between different phones. They don't work correctly.
They're not. However, I will plug the Google Pixel earphones with USB-C. I can plug it into a Mac, my phone, Android phone. I can plug it into my iPhone.
Yeah.
Well, no, not iPhone. I can plug it into other devices. Yeah. But talk about USB-C. Leaked images of possible USB-C port on the next iPhone. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it is as well. I think probably next year's one.
Yeah, 2020 is what they're touting the big change for iPhone. But are we going to see the notch go?
Don't know about that.
With all those funky cameras. However, you were pointing out to me about the cameras underneath the screen.
Yeah, underneath screens. I mean, two companies have brought them out at the moment. Xiaomi and Oppo. Oppo, which owns OnePlus at the moment. So The thing is, I've seen the camera samples of the pictures compared to the OnePlus 7,
Yeah.
and they're not great. So it still needs to be refined, but the technology's there. People to see how it looks like an actual display, can't see the camera, take a picture and the camera appears.
Do you know what I find really funny? What I find absolutely funny, and what I can picture, is people putting loads of post-it notes all over their laptop screen. Because if you put a camera behind the screen,
Do you know what happens? It happens. The amount of people I see with post-it notes or any type of coverage over their laptops. But will that happen on the phones? Because people don't at the moment cover their phones, even though it's got a camera right there.
yeah, no, that is true, and that is a joke that I tend to make for most people that do cover up their cameras.
I mean, surprisingly, a lot of these laptops you get, you have the actual cover that you can cover it. I'm surprised no phone manufacturers actually brought out a cover for their phones yet.
Well,
Unless a massive security leak occurs, then there will be a massive
well, there's
uproar.
no camera here because it's behind my phone.
Oh yeah,
So,
actually, no, you're right. You're right.
I have the
You're right.
OnePlus 7 Pro, and my camera is a mechanical camera that comes up and down. So my front-facing camera
Yeah,
will not come up.
you're right.
However, there are phones out there in the market with little cameras in the screen and whatnot that can still see you. So when people come over and cover up their webcam and say, well, because I don't want anybody snooping on me, well, your phones are doing that.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, who has time to even do that?
That's true. I mean,
And then these manufacturers have gone the extra step to turn the light on when your camera goes on.
that's true.
So you know it's on.
That's true. But yeah, I can't see that actually happening. But yeah, like you've got a phone, I've got a phone also that you have to slide down to see the camera.
Yeah.
So in that way you can't see it. But I mean, who's going to hack into your phone and just to see you?
Or your laptop.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
okay,
gonna
no. There have been instances where, I know of a company or an individual in a company a long time ago that installed software to spy on people taking their laptops home. That happened. They got caught, they got fired,
Oh
right?
wow. Okay.
But back then, we didn't have webcams that had lights to say, I am on.
Yeah.
Things have changed so much now that these newer laptops that people get, if it's on a Mac or if you're on a Windows machine, there's a little light next to the camera to say, I am on.
Yeah. True.
So that was their way around it. Obviously, Lenovo have gone a step further to cover the screens, the actual camera itself. But when we start getting cameras behind the screens, you're going to lose out on screen estate if you start putting sticky notes on there.
I mean, to be honest, we're trying to get the ultimate phone at the moment, the ultimate screen.
Yeah.
To make it look amazing.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to think. I mean, I've got a phone which is all screen at the moment as well. But I'm beginning to think, is it not that bad? Is it as bad as what people make out to be? I mean, I think we're overdeveloping something and trying to create something which is. I mean, like for instance, we've got the Samsung S10. It's got a small pinhole camera in the top right corner.
Yes, they do.
That doesn't. That's not obscure though. You can't. It doesn't really. I don't think it's that bad.
No.
I'm beginning to like it more. The first time I saw it, I wasn't happy with it. I didn't like it. The more I look at it now, I'm thinking it's not actually that bad. To try and
it's not bad. I've never mind the notch.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've never mind the camera. I never mind losing that. I think because, like you said, we're chasing the ultimate screen, where we're chasing the ultimate camera. We're chasing. I mean, at some point it has to give.
But I think, are we going back a step in terms of quality? Like in terms of these in-display cameras that we're going to get. Obviously, there's going to be a lag where we're going to go back a step in quality. Then it's going to take a bit of time for it to creep up to just go back to the 2019 standard.
No. But let's look at fingerprint. On-screen fingerprint when it first came out, just a few years ago, 2 years ago, rubbish.
Yeah.
And now, flawless.
Yes.
So I'll give it another couple of years before cameras will be amazing behind the screen.
I think cameras are scrutinized so much. It's unbelievable. You get so many reviews of people comparing this to this to this. And when you do it, you have to make sure it's done on a point. It has to be amazing. If it's not as good as your phone that had an actual camera that you could see a year ago, it'll come to a point where people are like, if the technology is not advancing any further, it's gone back a step. We don't need this. I want the camera to be amazing. I want it to take the amazing selfie.
Okay. Okay, fair play. But talking about cameras, I do have one gripe with one manufacturer with their camera.
Who's that?
I'm sorry to take a dig at Apple, but their webcam on their Macs are atrocious.
They've never developed it
No,
as much as they could,
no,
really.
no.
Even for years, it's always been.
When doing FaceTime at night time on my phone compared to my
Yeah,
MacBook,
it's mad, isn't it? Yeah, I
there's
know what you
a
mean.
night and day difference.
Yeah,
So I don't know, but to be honest, if they get that technology in, I mean, Windows are doing Windows Hello, where you can log in with your face.
yes.
I think everything will go that way, where you don't even need to worry about fingerprint or
Passwords,
passwords,
yeah.
or and at the moment, I currently have a password list set up for myself, and I was showing Mandeep a world where we don't even need to have passwords,
Yeah, that's true.
and it is secure. You just
Yeah,
don't need to remember a password. You don't need to remember a word.
yeah,
I mean, that's really cool, and I cannot wait for a world where you don't need passwords.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean that that
It works
that would,
well,
that would be a secure way. Um, Compared to at the moment trying to remember 100 different,
101,
but
yeah.
yeah, that's just way too many. But I suppose everyone's in the same boat at the moment.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that'll be
But
cool to
at
see.
least companies are looking into ways of
Yeah,
skipping that. I mean, I have this weird little key fob thing which I have to plug it in and kind of say it's me, and without that key fob thing, nothing logs in, for example. So
that's good.
there are ways of doing it, and that's definitely going to be interesting. But one good thing about Apple is they've bought out a self-driving car firm.
A few days before it went bankrupt.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But again, what is that showing us? Are they developing something that there've been rumors about for the last 3 or 4 years now?
I don't think they're
Could they
going to make a car, an
could they
Apple
have
car.
something inside the factory waiting to just erupt, open the front gates, and it's ready to come out?
There you go, an Apple car. What would you call it? iCar?
Yeah, I think that's what everyone said a few years back when they had rumors about it. It's going to be called the iCar, but I can't see them saying anything else. Really.
I personally think the more I've read into this, and obviously the rumors, that was the rumors, I think it's more of AI for the car. They will make
Yeah,
Siri or something that will control cars and be accurate.
yeah. I mean, yeah. In terms of
But
how we
you're not a
spoke
fan
about
of self-driving cars.
self-driving cars, I still think that's something that we're developing that doesn't need to be developed. I think it's just I can't give my whole life over to a self-driving car, and it's in the car's hands if I live or die. I can't
Yeah,
do
but
it.
you do it with a plane.
But
You
yeah,
do it with a
but
plane.
again, I think we spoke about this earlier. With a plane, you've got um, you can see in front of you there's nothing there. You can see sides of you there's nothing. There's no traffic in the sky until a certain amount. Yeah, there is a bit of traffic, but in terms of cars and vehicles that you have on the road, you'll have a vehicle 3 meters in front of you, 4 meters in front of you. You'll have cars beside you, 2 feet next to you. You know you can see traffic constantly, and to have a self-driving car, self-driving AI system that's driving for me, controlling everything, the steering,
The only
acceleration,
way,
braking.
okay,
I
I
don't
do.
know. I would be on edge, especially. I mean, myself. I have a family. My kids in the back. I would be on edge, like taking my hands off the steering wheel. I don't know if I could do that. Maybe I might just do it as a test, but I could never. I could never sit back and relax.
Okay, does your car have that weird auto parking thing?
No, I haven't got that
Okay,
either.
fair enough. Fair enough. I've got it on my car. I let the car
I
park
would, I
itself.
would, I would, I wouldn't mind that actually. Because at the end of the day, that's parked up, and I'll test it out. But I don't think I'd still think that it will park it perfectly compared to how I could do it.
Oh no, it's perfect.
Is it?
It's definitely perfect. It parks better than I ever would.
I'll still be thinking if there's a slight
No,
bump
no. I tell you
where
what.
there's a blame, there's a claim. I don't want that. I don't want that happening.
I tell you what. So I flew out to San Diego last year.
Yeah.
Right. I landed in Los Angeles. I had to drive from Los Angeles to San Diego.
Hmm.
I got into a Kia, right? And as I was driving, I could feel the steering wheel turn by itself. I was very tired because I should have just slept and then drove the next day. And the car was steering for me to a point. I'm like, do you know what? I could probably go for a snooze. And I actually went for a snooze in the car for a little while.
Wow.
And I woke up and I'm still on the. I know I shouldn't have done that.
Wow.
But it was just like, wow, this is pretty cool. I'm more. I guess I I don't know. I guess you've got to be a family with kids
Yeah,
and whatnot. Me, I'm a bit more blasé, and
I mean, myself. My family, my wife's family's from up north, so we're always up and down the motorway. So I'm sitting in traffic a lot, and thinking that will allow a self-driving car that will just drive for me through the traffic. I just don't know. I think I just feel like there could be something that might happen.
look, the only way where automation in cars is going to work is if every car was automated.
Do you know what I said to you earlier? There should be train tracks or some sort of tracks on the highways, motorways that when you connect your car into, you're locked into place, and then you can sit back and relax because every car is going the same speed, every car gets on the same way, and everyone's the same distance. And you program your car when you're ready to get off, which junction to get off, and that's it. You're done.
True, but it's
That's
cheaper.
how it should be done, and that's it. That should be autonomous and nothing else.
But the amount of
So I've
work you
seen that
have
in a
to do.
film somewhere. I can't remember what film was that.
Yeah, I know,
It's on South
but then
Africa.
again, the amount of money you got to pay to
Yeah.
dig up roads and whatnot, it's cheaper just to have a self-driving car.
Should have some sort of, I don't know, what sort of track, a little magnetic track or something like that, or I don't know.
What? So everybody drives a ski
Electric,
car?
yeah. That's it. That's what it should
Wow.
be. Someone holds a little controller. But
Yeah, crazy. So, Facebook coming into cryptocurrency.
yeah, I've heard about that as well.
Libra.
Big companies that got involved as well. Visa signed up as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting to see what they're bringing out.
But then people still want to have physical cash. I mean, we said this in a previous podcast that an Amazon Go store now is accepting cash.
Yes.
So I don't think we're ready for that yet, are we?
But thing is, I read is that I can't remember the figures on the top of my head, but there were figures to say that a lot of people, even in the UK and the US, there's a lot of people that don't hold bank accounts or don't hold certain amounts of credit cards or anything like that. So they're trying to create this platform of cryptocurrency where they could interlink everyone and anyone could just have a certain amount of, I don't know what it's going to be, some sort of tokens or a currency or someone that people can just sign up to that they can just pay with.
I don't know. I mean, this is such a big topic. I know banks are very keen to get rid of physical cash and money. They've always been keen on that idea, but I mean, this is just going to kill off, different exchange rates and whatnot. It's too much of a big thing. I mean, Bitcoin didn't quite make it there.
Yeah, I think that's still something that hasn't been taken up mainstream.
No,
but
I don't know. Cryptocurrency for me just feels to be a long way off. Still, I think there's so much things that need to be ironed out.
I mean, I think it was 2017 when there was a bit of a bubble. Everything just went crazy in prices.
No, my main issue with cryptocurrency is, let's say we have one currency, correct? And then I go to, and this might happen in the US when you go to different states, where you have to pay different amount of taxes and items cost slightly differently. For me, as a consumer, I remember when the iPhone 10 first came out, and I drove down to a different state where I had to pay less tax on an iPhone than I would do where I was, because I wanted to save that extra bit of money. If you have one currency across the world, I doubt everything's going to be costing the same. That's not going to. We're a long way off from that. Really are.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think everything will cost the same. I mean, it's the same with the euros in Europe.
Yeah.
Everyone thought that maybe the costing is going to be the same, but you've got different platforms in different countries that obviously certain things are more expensive, certain things are a lot cheaper in certain places. That's just the way that will work. But
the fact that Facebook are coming into this space.
But the thing is, Visa, they spent a lot of money. They've charged each company, I think it's $12 million each company just to get involved with it, and Visa have paid $12 million just to get involved with Libra. And it's big companies that were involved. So are they seeing something that we're not? Are they?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe.
I mean, they're all coming together to create something. So yeah, it could be the new thing that starts up. How much it will get picked up by everyone, I don't know.
Well, you got Apple Card, which is now slowly going out to people. So Apple are in the finance space. I mean, I just find it so strange that so many tech companies are really interested in finance.
I think Visa have got involved. Visa are huge.
Yeah, Visa are huge.
Every bank account with every card globally is, or Visa and MasterCard.
Yeah.
Either one or the other, really. So
It's definitely going to be
it's got to be
interesting.
something.
Definitely
It's got to be
interesting
something.
times when it comes with finance and tech.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing I was showing you this morning, PowerPoint Coach.
This is actually really good.
I
I've
really
got to
like
say
it.
it's really
Okay,
good.
so PowerPoint Coach. Just imagine you're preparing for a PowerPoint deck or slide, and you're doing a rehearsal. As you're doing the rehearsal in front of your computer is actually listening to you, and it will highlight to you there and then how fast you're talking. If you're reading too much of your slides, it will point that out. It will say you're going and too often. It will correct you, and then once you've done that, it will then give you feedback to say how you could improve giving a
I
presentation.
think that's brilliant.
And
That's genius, I
and
think.
it's live now. You can download the preview now and run it. And I mean, how cool is that? Like, you will have a perfect presentation just by this little thing saying, "Oh, you're talking too much about the slides
Yeah.
now."
I think that's brilliant. You can go over your slides, obviously not with someone, but you go over with AI who'll come back and just give you positive feedback, negative feedback, criticisms, anything that you need to cover and go over it. You can keep on going over it until you perfect it, which I think is great.
I think it's fantastic, especially for people who aren't very good at doing presentations. I
Yeah.
mean, even though we love to talk, I don't know how we
Yeah, I
would be on
mean,
presentations.
yeah, true.
I remember the last presentation you did, that was a train crash.
Oh man, it was slides that I had no idea what they were, and I remember that time
Yeah.
when the slides were changing by themselves as
Yeah,
well. Wow,
yeah. And then you give me a dirty look saying, "Did you stop changing the slides?"
that's a different scenario. Let's go through that at a different point. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No worries.
but no, I mean,
But
but again, I mean, we're going to see AI grow even more now. So we're
yeah,
talking about the cloud. The cloud will power AI. We're going back to the whole everything being connected to one another, that it can learn how a good presentation went elsewhere in the world and give you those tips.
I think it's like Microsoft are bringing this out. When are the smart speakers going to do this? Alexa, Google. You can talk to Alexa, say, "I've got a presentation. Let's go over it." Or Google, if you have a Google slides that you're going to go over. Okay, okay, Google, pick up my Google slides. Okay, can we have a rehearsal? Okay, let's do it.
But it's
So you go
Microsoft
over
that's
it.
pushing
But
it.
I'm just saying, like, it'll be
But then this goes to, I mean, this is Cortana. Microsoft have been working on this for
yeah.
ages. We thought it was dead in the pan. I used Cortana the other day to book a meeting with you. I mean,
That
what
was
was,
actually pretty good. It
yeah,
actually came out. I got the meet and everything. Yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
good.
I literally sent an email to Cortana, and you can sign up for this. It's on Microsoft's preview, and I said, "Hey Cortana, can you schedule 1 hour between me and Mandy between these hours?" And what did you get on your
I
end?
got I got the actual meeting invite itself. All I had to do was accept it,
Wow.
and that's it.
Okay, so you just
It
look at
came
your
through. It
calendar
came
and
through as though I think it did say Cortana at the bottom,
yeah.
but to me it just seemed like a normal meeting. So
Wow.
there's no difference to it. There's no errors in it at all. The times were correct as well.
So I mean,
But yeah,
are we going to see less EAs with this when it gets perfected?
mm,
I mean, it's dangerous. I mean,
that
you
is
don't.
dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
Look over
even.
your shoulder, guys.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you don't need to. You don't need to talk to someone. You just email Cortana or any AI in this case, and it will do
Yeah.
the rest for you. So as a manager, you'd be like, right, I need to book a one-to-one with a member of staff. Can you do it for me? Find a time, and it does it for you, and you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, we can see a future where that happens.
And it goes as far as there's a new feature where it says, "Do you have a common meeting room you like to use all the time?" And you just choose it out of the list, and it looks at the meeting room timing. I mean,
Oh, okay.
absolutely crazy. It's definitely growing, but I think
Yeah.
it's good.
I think it's exciting times for this.
AI and cloud are
Yeah,
definitely exciting times.
yeah, definitely. Whole cloud environment,
Yeah,
infrastructure backend. Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger now.
it is. It is without a doubt. And I think, oh, the last thing, the gaming part of me, I have to bring it up. The Harry Potter Pokemon Go mixed thing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's gaining traction. People are going, oh, raving about
but the
it.
thing is, we had the same thing with Pokemon Go. It had a lot of traction starting off, and
Yeah,
then
and then
it's
died.
it's still there, but you
But
don't
for
really hear anyone
me,
talking about it.
the problem is safety issues. I
Yeah,
mean, there were issues where people would make fake spots and people were being mugged. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to get little children playing these games.
That's the worst thing, and that I mean, as myself with a with kids, I mean, you've got these online games. Another game aspect is Roblox as well, which is something I'm not keen on having my kids play.
Really? How come?
Because there's so many horror stories I've heard about this.
Wow.
Where you're
Okay.
literally playing the games, and to be honest, I don't want to repeat the stuff I've heard, but you can Google it, guys. You can find out the horror stories that have come about. There's times where
But what is Roblox?
it's a platform where people can create their own games, and then little mini games that people can just play. Or it could be driving a car. You have your own like your own emoji, sort of your own person itself, and you can go into these games. You can change your emoji and so forth. Go into these games, but then you meet real people and you can play together with these games. But these real people, the stuff I've heard is adults luring children to play these games and then speaking to them in certain ways, which is scary and
It is
something that I've
scary.
seen. I mean, my son, who's 5 at the moment, going to be 6. He has seen these Roblox games, people playing games on YouTube. He's asked me a few times, "Can you download Roblox for me?" And then I researched into it and I saw what I saw. I've shut him out and said, "No, you're not. You're not having that, no matter what." So yeah, that those platforms, there needs to be tighter controls and all this.
Yeah.
These back end companies need to do something to stop any of this occurring. But there's been instances, if you could Google those horror stories that happen, again, that's been reported to the creators of Roblox. The worst case they do is just ban the person. That's it.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
They don't push it to the authorities. They don't go ahead and say this needs to be done, that needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's just, in other cases, like we found nothing that happened. We found nothing.
Well,
wrong.
I guess
Big concern
in tech as in general, and
Yeah.
this is an entire podcast on its own, which we'll
Yes,
go
it is.
over.
Yes, it's definitely something interesting to talk about, and we will definitely cover that.
Yeah. And again, I want to reach out to everybody and say thank you for your feedback. We've got a lot of constructive feedback, and we're going to work on that slowly, and we're going to pick up a topic and talk about one topic at a time.
Yeah.
So with that, we're looking to extend our podcast slightly, where we will pick up on a topic, and one of the topics that we're going to kick off soon is digital well-being. So
Yes.
how do you disconnect? Which is very, very important. So even though we do love tech, we have to find ways of actually obviously just putting it away, just coming back to reality. So, we will make that podcast. We will go over the tools that are available to you all. So that's going to be a special podcast. And we've got another special podcast with another member of staff or another member out there in the real world that works with another organization, whatnot. We are definitely going to grow this.
Yeah.
But please do come back with your feedback so that we can grow this podcast. Because it helps us help you, really, at the end of the day, and stuff about that which you like to learn and know about.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, we'll continue this going, getting bigger and bigger, and so definitely give us your feedback, guys. That's how we're going to grow.
Yeah, definitely. But great for well, what a great episode. We've covered a few things. Obviously, we didn't go over E3, we didn't go over other events, but there's so much things going on.
Yeah.
But,
difficult with that. It's just there's so much in gaming that we'll be
but then for us, we're gonna step away from gaming because I think we were going into that a bit too much. But we are, I mean, interesting times ahead. I do believe by the end of the year, we're just going to see something completely different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, thank you all listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.